Hello, in this video we are going to talk about Amazon S3 cloud storage and how you can use this in your FileMaker solution using fmFlare. So we're looking at fmignite starter here, and this has been modified to allow for S3 uploads. But first, let me demonstrate the out-of-the-box functionality here as it relates to attaching files or documents here. Basically, you just run over here, can drag and drop a file, and since this is an image, you can click on this and get a little bit of a preview there. If we want to attach a non-image, it's basically the same. This one's a little bit bigger at 2 megabytes or so. And you can see that there's no image preview here. Okay, so these are stored in FileMaker again, and if I wanted to view them, I can click on the little eye icon there, and it opens up through the preview there, or the preview app. If I want to save it, I can just click on the icon there and save it wherever I want. Alright, so this is all fine and dandy, but as you may know, the users can upload files and really clog up your hard drive space on your FileMaker server if you're not careful. And if you're not using external storage, it can bloat your database file into many gigabytes worth of data or more even. So for that reason, it's really useful to look into cloud storage, and Amazon S3 is one of the most popular out there, and we have that built in here now. So all we need to do is take a trip over to Setup here. We can change this over to AWS S3, and I got my credentials all plugged in there. I'm happen to be using my LumenFire testing bucket here. So let's flip back, and we will add the same files here, and we will see a little bit of a difference here. So it's going to go through the same exact motions here, but as we can see, it's already moved it off to S3 here. And if we click on here, I can see kind of exactly what's going on. These are stored for use in other functions here, like viewing and saving, as well as deleting the file when we don't want it anymore. So we've got the bucket name, the region, and the object key, which is basically the file path on the S3 bucket. So in this case, I have this built into the script, and I'm storing it in the fmFlare demo file or folder in the documents, and this ID right here is actually the document ID for this document record, and then followed by the actual file name. So if I do a zip file, it's going to do the same thing, uploading to S3 now. There we go. So let's take a look at what it looks like on the actual bucket here. If I refresh, I should see let me do this here. I should see my folder here, and I got my my two files here. And again, this is kind of the organizational structure I chose to make sure that files can get uploaded and be organized and not overwrite each other if they have the same file name, for instance. So we the documents here has to do with the name of the table that we're looking at here. It could be files in your solution, or whatever. And then this is the unique ID of this record. So you're only ever going to get a single file within this kind of folder structure here. Let's upload a couple more here. We got our nifty little fmFlare icon. And of course we've got Brian from Office Space, who has 37 pieces of Flare. If we jump back to our transmit app here, we can refresh. Maybe. Let's try jumping into documents here. Yeah. So you can kind of see what's going on here. You can see that transmit is seeing the same thing I am. So this is all just well and good for making sure things are working here. But if I go back to FileMaker here, if I want to preview a picture here, for instance, I can click on this this icon here, and I can see that it's working just fine. If I can do another one here, I'll do Brian. So what's important here is that these file uploads are private. They're marked as private. So what's happening here is you're clicking on the view icon, and it's running through fmFlare and getting what's called a pre-signed URL, which is a URL that will open the file or give you access to the file, but it will expire after a set amount of time. I think I have it set for like a day, 24 hours. And this is important because if somebody knows what this URL is and it's not set as private storage, anybody can have access to that file. So these are completely, you know, off the grid, so to speak. And if you were to try to load up that that URL, you would get an error saying that it's not authorized. So this is all built in to be secure for you. So we got our files here. We have a few files in the cloud right now. They're right here. What happens if we delete? We're going to delete this guy here. And it's going to first delete the file off S3, and if it's successful, then it will delete the FileMaker record. So there it goes. Why don't we just go ahead and delete all of these. So these two are still in FileMaker, but all the files in S3 should be gone. And there they go. So there you have it. This is fmFlare using fmignite starter, or rather fmignite starter using fmFlare to upload files into S3. Thanks for watching.